Get in, sit down, and hang on.
It's about to get crazy. It's about to go down.
This is Idaho Sports Talk with Prater and the Ball Game.
It's about to get crazy. It's gonna be loud. This is our home. We do what we wanna. We'll go the rooftop. Everybody's coming. It's about to get crazy.
On Sports Radio 95.3 FM and 1350 AM, The Ticket. It's time for the Bronco Nation News Report with four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains.
Hour number 2, Prater in the Ball Game. Going to have some fun today. The next half hour, if you love college football and Boise State, well, you are at the right place. We welcome our video audience on the KTIK YouTube channel, on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. It's our BNN report, as you heard our voice guy say. It's about to get crazy. You hear that song 3 times a day, Idaho Sports Talk fans. We're going to play on that word, crazy, one of Prater's favorites. BJ Rains joins us with 4 crazy predictions for the Boise State football season. BJ, looks like you are in a hotel room in beautiful Seattle, Washington, huh?
Yeah, the bed's still made because I haven't used it yet, but happy to be here in Seattle. Happy to join you guys. Beautiful afternoon in Seattle, and Jordan K is over here finishing up a story. His room wasn't ready yet, so he's using mine. And yeah, happy to be here. Happy to have football season, and happy to be about 20 hours from kickoff. Man, it's been a long 7-8 months, and happy to talk about an actual game tomorrow with you guys here.
All right, BJ, start us off. Crazy prediction number 1.
I went pretty crazy on this because I was thinking on the flight over here. I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's have a little fun with this. So my first crazy prediction, which I don't think it doesn't actually affect tomorrow's game, but I don't think this team's losing on the blue this year. Let's go and just say they're going to go. They're going to have a perfect home record. They are 8-5 on the blue under Andy Avalos, and I think they beat UCF next week. And again, my feelings on this might change Monday based on what I see tomorrow in this game. I was pretty impressed actually with UCF and what I saw the other day, but I don't think Boise State's losing on the blue. I don't know. Even if they're underdogs going into that game, I think they find a way to win. And I think Boise State, they have the game to finish up the regular season against Air Force on Black Friday. But otherwise, North Dakota, San Jose, Wyoming, New Mexico. My first bold prediction, despite being 8-5 on the blue, Boise State is going to go 6-0 on the blue this year and not lose a home game.
Does that mean even 7-0 on the blue, BJ, if that's the way it shakes out?
Yes.
That is a crazy prediction based on the stat that you just put out there about Andy Avalos, which has been circulating around an awful lot for the last few months, as it should. But I also agree with you very much there. I don't think, and as a matter of fact, I got into a little Twitter battle with somebody the other day because I said that they are going to go undefeated on the blue. I really, truly do. The UCF game is a little bit scary. Wyoming and San Jose State, I think, are going to be a little pesky. If Boise State was playing those 2 teams on the road, that's a different story. I don't see either one of those 2 teams beating Boise State on the blue. I think Boise State's going to go 7-0 on the blue this year, BJ.
Yeah, I forgot about the championship game. Yeah, that'd be the 7th game. I'm right there with you. We got to just get past the first game next week. And again, tomorrow we'll have a much better say. I was pretty impressed with UCF. I thought their quarterback looked pretty good. I know it was Kent State last night. But overall, I was pretty impressed with UCF. But I just, I don't know. Andy's talked a lot, heard a lot about the 8-5 record at home the last 2 years. San Jose State, they don't worry me. None of those teams worry me. If they can get by UCF next week, they're not losing at home this season.
Okay, BJ, crazy prediction number 2.
Well, with that, them not losing at home, I've got them winning 10 games. I think this team wins 10 games. I guess I could do a cop-out and say that counts the championship game and or the bowl game. But I think this by the end of the season, this team has double-digit wins. I don't think one of them is tomorrow. But if I've got them beating UCF, then I don't think they're going to lose very many games this year. So I think at San Diego State is a much more manageable, winnable game than we may have thought before the season. Watch that game against Ohio, and San Diego State did not scare me at all in that game. So I think at Memphis will be a little bit of a challenge, but I don't see many teams in the Mountain West giving them much of a challenge this year. So I'm going to say a 10-2 regular season record. you throw in the championship game and a bowl game, I think this team has a chance to get back to 11, 12 wins this year. I really do. I don't think they win tomorrow, but I think this team at the end of the season is going to be back in that Boise State teams we've talked about where they're winning 11, 12 games. I think 12-2 record is very much in play for this team.
BJ, the crazy thing is, if this team is 10-2, I wonder what the narrative will be here on Idaho Sports Talk and there at Bronco Nation News. If it will be getting ready for a Mountain West championship game, that we will say a win gets you to a New Year's 6. If Boise State's 10-2, you would think, whatever the other 4 group of 5 leagues, conference championship games, wherever they sit, if they put themselves in that position, that could be one magnificent sized conference championship game. We will have to see on that. Prater, you agree with that? If you're 10-2, you got a shot.
Oh, absolutely.
At the New Year's 6.
Outside shot. I don't know what Tulane, UTSA, Memphis may do, as you guys were saying, but yeah, absolutely. It's been done before.
Well, that actually takes away my third prediction. So I had a 4A and a 4B that I'll just make and combine, I guess. But one of my I told you I was going crazy. Why not? It's the afternoon before the first season or the first game of the season. But I think Boise State makes the New Year's 6 this year. Let's go for it. Why not? I think that 10-2 probably puts them in position to do it. I think all the talk about Andy Avalos, all the talk nationally about conference realignment, is Boise State getting left out, all this kind of stuff that we've been talking about for the last several months. I think this is let's just say this is the year that Boise State gets back on the national stage, gets back into the national conversation. And I think it's going to be the Fiesta Bowl. I think is that for sure the Fiesta Bowl, or it could be the Cotton Bowl this year. But I think it's the Fiesta Bowl, and I'm going to say let's go for it. Boise State wins the Mountain West Championship and gets back to the Fiesta Bowl. There's a lot of reasons why it wouldn't be likely this year, which is the reason I'm going to say it is likely. I think Boise State, why not, makes it back to the Fiesta Bowl this year.
I think there's 3 reasons why that's a heck of a prediction, and it's the competition that's out there. I just don't see anybody. Somebody's going to stand up and raise their hand and come out and challenge somebody out of the Mountain West in terms of the New Year's 6 in the group of 5. But Boise State, I just keep thinking of 2 things over and over and over again. The leadership, and they can't stop talking about it down there. And I don't think you can take that lightly. All the 6th-year guys, especially on offense, and just the collection of skill talent on offense. The skill talent, the skill players, and the leadership, those are like 2 of the 3 most important boxes when building a football team. And if they can stay healthy, there's no reason they shouldn't be successful to the degree that you're talking about, BJ.
Well, I think the offense, I think it may not show tomorrow, again, just because of the team they're playing. But I think 2 things. One, this offense is going to prove over the course of the season to be really, 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 really good. And I think they're going to be top 20 in yards, top 20 in points. I'm banking on Talon Green improving. I'm banking on the receivers, the running backs, as you're going to get to in my 4th topic here, my 4th number in a second. But I also think the track record of Andy Avalos, a lot of people are scared about this defense, but literally one time in the 8 years or 9 years, whatever it is, that Andy Avalos has been a defensive coordinator or a head coach, has his defense not been good. And that was the COVID year, I believe, in 2020. So I think that is this defense going to be the best defense in Boise State history? No. But I think that the track record Andy Avalos has shown is this defense is going to be more than good enough to win a lot of football games this year when it's all said and done. And there's a lot of worries about the guys that left and who's coming in. And I get that, but and I'm just as worried probably as fans are. But I think if you just take a deep breath and trust in the track record of Andy Avalos coaching defense, I think this defense is going to be just fine. So you throw in a solid defense with what I think is going to be one of the top offenses in the country. Again, may not show tomorrow, but by the end of the season, I think this team is going to be right up there in the national conversation fighting for a Fiesta Bowl.
All right, Bronco Nation News, BNN Report on Fridays. Crazy prediction number 4.
Well, I know the fans in the YouTube chat are all loving me because I got the blue and orange goggles on today, I guess. All these are positive predictions on the eve of the season. But I got 4A and 4B. I'm going to go 1 stat for a player on offense, 1 for a player on defense. I'm going to go with Steph Cobbs, and he had 29 catches last year. I'm going to go that Steph Cobbs doubles that this year, 58 catches. I think Steph Cobbs gets to 60 catches this year. Latrell Caples led the team, obviously, last year with 51. He's out for the season. The fact that Steph Cobbs is going to be in the slot this year, I think he's going to be maybe not the big play guy that he's been in the past, but I think Steph Cobbs has a chance to catch a lot of passes in that short to mid-range game there in the slot for Taylon Green. So maybe that's a little crazy because they've got, 4 or 5 guys that I think that all could be solid receivers for him this year, but I'm going to go 60 catches. Steph Cobbs leads the team in catches. A lot of people are forgetting about him. He's been a solid receiver for this team. He battled some injuries last year. Eric McAllister is the new flavor. Everybody's talking about Prince Strawn, all these guys, but don't forget about Steph Cobbs. We talked to him yesterday, and I think he's motivated. He's ready for a big season. My 4A is going to be Steph Cobbs getting to 60 catches on the season. And my 4B is going to be the pass rush, and whether it be one of these guys on the edge, I think somebody gets to, we're having fun. We're throwing out predictions that may or may not happen. Somebody on Boise State's team gets the double-digit sacks this year. How about that? I don't know who it, Dimitri Washington is a guy that it could be. I'm not for sure it's going to be him, but all this talk about the pass rush, all this talk about guys not being, from last year, not getting much pass rush, and that being a position in an area they're a little concerned with. If Dimitri Washington is healthy and plays in, 14 games this season, if they play in a conference championship in a bowl game, I certainly think 10 sacks is doable. And again, tomorrow, if the over-under is a half a sack for the team, I'm not sure I take the over on this, but for the course of the season, you spread it out. I think whether it's Ahmed Hassanin, Dimitri Washington, one of these guys on the edge, I think somebody emerges and gets 9-10 sacks on this team and is an all-Mountain West first-team guy coming off the edge. I'm going to take Steph Cobbs and somebody coming off the edge as my 2 players that I'm counting on for big years.
All crazy predictions. I like all of them. I think they all have a chance to come true. I owe you a milkshake from last year because of our Caples Bowens bet. I was a Billy Bowens guy. You were a Caples guy, and you won that bet. I want a double or nothing on Steph Cobbs at 60 catches. I'll even lower that down to 50 catches. We'll talk about that after the show. I do have a very serious question, speaking of crazy, for you. Trying to just digest what happened today with the ACC. The Pac-2 is now the Pac-2. Is it going to be the Pac-1? Is it going to be the Pac-14 with some mountain? What's going to happen next, BJ? Throw me out another crazy prediction that's going to happen. Gloria Nevarez is on the clock. What's going to happen with Gloria Nevarez?
Well, I mean, there's only 2 realistic possibilities that I see, and I haven't been able to listen to your guys' show and you guys dive into this, but I mean, it's either the simplest, most likely scenario is probably just the Mountain West adding Oregon State and Washington State, and the Mountain West just goes to 14. I don't want them to stop there. I guess my crazy prediction would be go get Gonzaga. I still think that makes a lot of sense to go add Gonzaga. And heck, why stop there? Go pilgrimage the AAC some more. Add Memphis. Go add some more teams. Make it obvious and clear that you're the 5th best conference when 5, even if they go to a 5+7 model, there's going to be one spot for a quote group of 5 program. So maybe they just stop at Oregon State, Washington State, but I would go get Gonzaga. I would go get Memphis. I would continue to add teams that you think bring value and make it clear and obvious and no conversation that you're that next 5th best team behind the Pac-4. But I mean, the 2 options are they just add them to the Mountain West, or they, whether it's called a reverse merger or however they phrase it, and keep the Pac-12 name just in name only, so they can add and keep the NCAA tournament units and some of the money that's coming with the Pac-12 name. That's certainly an option as well. But I think that they will stay under the Mountain West umbrella. And let's hope Gloria Nevarez remains a commissioner of whatever this conference looks like, because I just think she has proven, and George Kliavkoff has not proven that Gloria Nevarez needs to lead whatever group this is moving forward. So that's one thing I'm rooting for and looking forward to seeing is I would suspect that George is no longer going to have a job here fairly soon, but I think Gloria Nevarez is there in Fort Collins with Washington State and Colorado State, and just ironic that happens. But I think it's going to move pretty quickly now, and we'll see something happen here in the next week or two that the Mountain West is going to add some teams, and maybe they go to the Pac-12 name. I don't know all the legalities with the money and all that, but something's happening where those teams are joining. It's going to be a 14-team league, and then, like I said, don't stop there. Go out and get some more teams.
Gloria the Gangster, we need you. We're going to get you out of here, BJ. The BNN coverage will be spectacular this whole weekend, as it always is. But quickly, Andy Avalos on the blue today. I wouldn't call it a press conference, more like a mission statement or a heads up onto some of the stuff that's going on. Prater had some interesting thoughts on that in our opening. In like 10 to 15 seconds, what did BJ Rains think of this new tradition on Friday? Andy goes to the blue and gives a statement for a couple of minutes.
Not much. I mean, it was what it was. We got 2.5 minutes. It was nice of him. He told us who the captains were going to be, who the hammer carrier was going to be, but, didn't really address any injuries, didn't address much of anything, didn't take any questions. So we'll see how that evolves moving forward here. But it was, he had a chance to talk for 2.5 minutes, and it was what it was. There was no real substance that I thought came out of it. But anytime the head coach a day before the game is willing to talk, you're going to take it. And I don't know of any other head coach at all in the entire country talking the day before a game. So appreciative of it. But in terms of what he actually said, I don't think there was much to take from it.
All right, BJ, enjoy Seattle, man. Envious, man. And check that stadium out. Obviously, you've been there before. It's just beautiful. Appreciate you, man. Go BNN.
Can I drop Johnny Mallory's name around downtown Seattle here to get a discount on food or drink or something? Or
I'll probably get your ass kicked if you go ahead and do that. I would stay away from all affiliation with one John Mallory. Appreciate you, BJ.
You guys.
That's Bronco Nation News. Prater, are you ready to split a sixer with me?
Yes, sir.
How
Friday.
about a Friday 6-pack of college football?